Is this a dream role for you? I keep thinking of Scott Bakula and Quantum Leap every week. You get to be somebody new.
It is, and I think I didn't realize, when I read the pilot script, it was all so quick and we were moving so fast. I hadn't thought through over the course of the whole series how many different roles I would get to sort of play in one show. So, yeah, it's what you imagine when you're little, acting to be, playing all these different characters. I get to do that, so it's a bit of a dream.
Can you tease any of the new sort of talents that you'll be getting towards 11?
Yeah. One of my favourites is a couple of episodes away still, and I eat the brain of a computer gamer. And I read it, and I read that, and I was like, oh gosh, I don't know anything about gaming, I don't know if this is going to be my episode. I loved it. That was probably one of the funnest characters for me to take on, and luckily Rob Buckley and Raoul Coley are very dedicated gamers, and they talked me through what was and wasn't convincing, and where you look on the screen, and all the language, which I was just baffled by. We had a lot of fun with that. There's another one, I eat two brains in one episode, a cheerleader and a stoner, and that is something.
Well, unless you get to choose to retain, develop the power to retain some abilities, it seems like right now, the first 3 episodes, once it's passed through your system, the talents are gone, the painting's gone already.
Yeah, to an extent that the talent itself is gone, but the interest in that realm doesn't necessarily go away. I think it's like anything. If you go camping for a few days, you don't necessarily end up, in my own life, camping every weekend, but I can recognise that that's something valuable and learn something from it. And I think she has that same sort of experience when she takes on these characteristics, and maybe she learns that she has more physical prowess than she thought, or whatever it might be, and builds her confidence, I think.
There's episode 4, it looks like, I just saw the preview, it looks like she's going to be kicking some butt.
Oh yeah, she dabbles in little martial arts. Something to look forward to.
Is me. Computer gaming episode, is she going to be necessarily taking on challenging Major, because that's like one of his passions?
There isn't a huge correlation between those. No, that was mainly off-screen. Rob Buckley doing his coaching with me. He's got his own very interesting storylines that start to come up that keep him pretty focused through those episodes.
How long does it take for you to get into all the makeup, or is there a lot of color correction afterwards?
Yeah, about an hour and 45 minutes in the morning. But actually, I think I spent about an hour and 40 minutes putting on my makeup today, so it's not that outrageous. It's airbrushing, and it goes into my hairline, and then we put a wig on, and then there's dark eye makeup. There's all sorts, but I actually find it really helpful. It helps me really step into Liv every morning when I'm 4 a.m. foggy waking up. Kind of gives me the time I need to prepare, so it's not a bad thing.
Do you ever leave without taking it off?
I have done, and it's a disaster because it normally takes about 40 minutes to get it off when I use oils to get it out of my skin if I've been wearing a singlet or like what do you call them? Tank tops. If I've been wearing we call them singlets, and everybody thinks I'm talking about wrestling. A tank top, I have to take it off my arms and everything and use an oil to get rid of that, and then I have to wash the spray out of my hair and stuff, so it is quite a long process, and occasionally I have just been in a rush where I'm meeting somebody after work, and so on the way home I've like popped into a supermarket with like sprayed white hair and like half the face, and I don't think about it until people are staring at me very strangely.
How long did it take for you to kind of be comfortable in the skin of Liv? Because the last time we saw you guys had just kind of finished more of the pilot, but obviously the time between pilot and the season is a long time.
Yeah. I think it was actually quite useful to have a couple of months to really gear up and be able to do the prep, what I hadn't really been able to do before the pilot. I got to watch a ton more zombie films and re-watch Veronica Mars, watch a bit of Buffy, kind of was able to look at some references, which was really helpful. And then I think it's more just being on set every day, being comfortable and relaxed with the crew. Those are the things that really help me feel like I can just be Liv every day without thinking and having to be on and introducing myself to people, but kind of able to just inhabit her a little more.
Is Major ever going to get used to her random behavior changes?
Major... Yeah, to an extent. I mean, Clive starts to really get suspicious. He's dealing with her each week, just being like, what is happening to you? There's some really, really funny stuff that comes up. Episode 12 in particular, I really like Clive and Liv's relationship.
Having seen all the zombie, research, where do you think iZombie kind of falls in its own special place
I think it's in its own special place. I mean, since Night of the Living Dead, the way in which the zombie genre has been subverted over the years, a lot of the films that I saw really explored it in different ways. There's the sort of shuffling zombie, and then there's the rabid zombie, and there's Shaun of the Dead, which is the funny zombie stuff. It kind of has come about in all these different ways, and I think this is the first time we've seen a zombie comedy, romantic, dramatic procedural.
Well, as one last question, maybe you could talk about, she's got a new romance coming up on the horizon. How quickly will that be introduced, and what can you tease about it?
Within the next couple of episodes, we meet her potential zombie suitor. And I think that people will be conflicted about it. You know, there's some wonderful things, and we want Liv to fall in love again, but she's very much not over her relationship with Major, and that can prove very compromising.
Can you talk quickly about stunts? What's been the most challenging or riveting?
You know what? It was a surprising one. I had to, and I won't tell you in what context exactly, but I do paintball later in one of the episodes, and it was something that I didn't know I had to prepare for in quite the same way. You know, next episode I do some martial arts, and I was a Power Ranger in the past, and so we had done quite a lot of martial arts training, and I sort of was ready for other things. Paintball, for some reason, really just came at me and knocked me side on. I was like exhausted after shooting that, just running around and schlepping in these heavy kind of with the guns and the heavy gear and in the heat. It was unusual.
Did you get hit?
Oh yeah.
Did it hurt?
It's not my favourite.
As you play each of the different characters as she eats the different brains, how do you decide how much of Liv to keep?
That's a good question. I think tonally, I just trust Diane and Rob, and we talk through each episode where we feel the brains are being most effective, and we talk to the directors, and within the cast I kind of get a sense. It's in a lot of the dialogue, the writing is there for me, but sometimes it can be quite hard because, you know, she's dealing with her own situations in her life, and I didn't want the brains to overbear upon that and like take over the story. So it's an interplay between the two, and it's a bit of a delicate balance.